Hello, my name is Rachel and I'm here today doing tag videos. This is the second tag video I'm doing actually, and I wanted to do the classics tag today. So I love classic literature, and yeah, I just thought it'd be a nice tag to do today. So I'm going to jump straight in. Question number one is an overhyped classic you really didn't like. This is Dracula for me. Every time anyone says any classic she didn't like, that's always the one that springs to mind. I hated Dracula. I didn't finish it. I've tried twice to read it. I tried the first time, didn't like it, and then it was part of my Gothic class at university, and I got further in, but again, didn't finish it. Didn't like it. Don't think the story's good. Characters are shit. I hate the way it's written. I hate diary format books. I'm not keen on that at all. And yeah, the diary meant that it lacked pacing, and I don't know if the pacing wasn't there because he just didn't have skill in general. But yes, I'm not a fan of Dracula. That's just not for me. Question number two, what is your favourite time period to read about? My favourite is probably like the times in Austen novels, Bronte novels, Hardy novels, that kind of rural English setting I really, really enjoy, with a lot of like farming and stuff in them. France around the Revolution, like in The Count of Monte Cristo, I adore that whole like aristocracy, French aristocracy, rich people and peasants, and yeah, that is good also. And American Jazz Age, around where like Fitzgerald was writing, that's also very good. Question number three, favourite fairy tale. My favourite fairy tales are normally just going to be Disney ones, because I don't have that much experience with fairy tales. Probably like Sleeping Beauty, Little Mermaid, things like that. But I think my favourite like written fairy tale that I've read is The Bloody Chamber, which is the first story in Angela Carter's collection, The Bloody Chamber, which is some short story retellings of fairy tales, and The Bloody Chamber is based on Bluebeard, and yeah, that is a really, really good short story. I like that one. Number four, what is the most embarrassing classic you haven't read yet? I'm going to say 1984 by George Orwell. I have read Animal Farm by George Orwell and really enjoyed it, and I've always meant to pick up 1984 because I really like dystopian, but yeah, I just haven't got around to it. I mean, I'm 22, so I'm not that ashamed because, I mean, I've only actually been reading books that I want to read for the last like 2 years. All the years before that, I've been doing literature at school, literature at college, and then I did 3 years of literature at university. So if a classic wasn't on there and I didn't really, really, really want to read it, then I didn't read it because I had too much required reading. So yeah, I'm not like ashamed, but that is one that I would have really liked to have got to by now. Question number five, top 5 classics you would like to read soon. I'm not going to put 1984 in there because I've just said it, but that is also on the list. Emma by Jane Austen, that's pretty high on the list. Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov, that's another one. I have like a gorgeous modern classics edition of that I got for Christmas, and I think about it honestly that's the book that I think about the most and want to read, so I definitely will read that soon. Catch-22 by Joseph Heller, I am halfway through that. I was reading it for my girlfriend because it's her favourite book and she really wanted me to read it, so I am halfway through and hopefully we'll finish it sometime soon. I mean, I've been reading it for a year, but yes, hopefully. Number 4, We Have Always Lived in the Castle. And the 5th one is Far From the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy. I've read Tess the Devils by Hardy and adored it, and I've read the first 50 pages of Far From the Madding Crowd at the start of the year and really enjoyed them. Like, it's a really well written book. I love Hardy's descriptions. But I didn't finish it because I didn't bring it to Switzerland with me, but my mum has recently brought it for me, so I will be carrying on reading that. I might start again from the beginning and then read it through. But yeah, so I'll definitely be reading that soon. Question number 6. Favourite modern book or series based on a classic? So this took me a while to think of, and then when I thought of it, I was like, that is of course my favourite, like that was amazing. And it is The 100 Nights of Hero by Isabel Greenberg, and it is based on the 101 Nights or Arabian Nights classic, and it is a graphic novel that is just one of the most beautiful things I've ever read, and it's one of the best book experiences I've ever read because I got it for Christmas, and my girlfriend stayed with me for Christmas, and we had Christmas together, and I think we opened all the presents and stuff, and then went back to bed because in my family we get up really early for Christmas. Went back to bed, and then we read it in bed together, and it was just amazing. And we did the same with Encyclopedia of Earlier a few months later, and that was amazing too. So yes, Isabel Greenberg for the win. Question number 7. Favourite movie/TV version based on a classic? So mine is Wuthering Heights, and it is I think it was 2009 version that was on ITV with Tom Hardy in and his wife. I think he met her filming that, and they got married because of that, and the guy from The Walking Dead's in it. I love it because a lot of adaptations of Wuthering Heights only focus on Heathcliff and Kathy, and although that's my favourite part, I do like the stuff later on, and it put all of that stuff in, and I just think it was just fantastic. I just really enjoyed it. So yes, that's my favourite. Number 8, worst classic to movie adaptation. I want to preface this by saying I do actually like this film. I love the soundtrack. I love the way it was filmed. I love the main character, and I think he did his character fantastically. But 2 characters in it I hated, and they're the reason that I think it's the worst adaptation. It is The Great Gatsby, the Baz Luhrmann version that was out in like 2013, I think. Yeah, I liked Daisy, as in I like the actress. I thought she was good, but I hated the way that they painted her as a victim, because I cannot stand Daisy, and I blame her for so much when I read it, and I feel like in the film you were supposed to feel sorry for her and understand where she was coming from, and I just was like, no, I'm not in for that. And also, I didn't like the guy who plays the narrator, who I can never remember the name of, because like I can never remember any names but Gatsby's, because he's the most important one. But yeah, I didn't like them 2 in it, so that's my worst adaptation. But that isn't to say I think it's a bad movie, because I do like it, and I love the soundtrack, and I love the filming, and I think it's an amazing film, but I don't like them characters, so they're not good. Question number 9. Favourite editions you'd like to collect more classics from? The first one is Persephone. So I have 3 Persephone books, I think, and I want the editions that have like artwork on the front. I will put a picture in, and I just think they're amazing. They're beautiful, and they're all like important works by women, or just works by women that wouldn't have got published just because they were women. So I love Persephone and just would like to give them my money anyway. Penguin Cloth Bound, I love those and want to like collect all of them. Penguin English Library editions, I will insert a picture of them. I'm a bit worried because I think they're going to go out of print and start printing another type, or they already have, which is a bit annoying because they're another one that I would love to collect a lot of the books in that series. So yeah, but I could always get them off like eBay or Amazon anyway. The vintage classics that are like the Jane Austen ones, I adore them, and I've recently got the 3 Jane Austens in it. I got Persuasion, Pride and Prejudice, and Emma. And I would love to get the rest. I'll set a picture, I can't remember what they're called. It's like Penguin Deluxe or something like that, and I have Wuthering Heights and Jane Eyre in it, and it's like a cartoony drawing on the front. But I will insert a picture of both of those. They are absolutely beautiful and have lovely French flaps and bedecked edges and are just amazing. Penguin Modern Classics. I love Penguin Modern Classics as well. The last question, question number 10. An underhyped classic you'd recommend to everyone. The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. It's my favourite classic of all time. I hardly ever hear anyone mention it. Even channels that talk about classics a lot, I don't hear them mention Count of Monte Cristo, and I wish I did. I wish everyone had read it. It's my favourite classic. It's one of my favourite books of all time, if not my favourite. It's fantastic. There's so much. It's got like the political game type thing that Game of Thrones has, and then it has like just the best friggin' revenge tale, and just it's got romance, and it's got everything. It's fantastic. It's set in that like aristocratic French revolutionary type era that I like, and yeah, it's amazing. It's my favourite. So yes, that was the classics book tag. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!